engaged young local couple who had commissioned Emma to design and make their ring gushed on the other end of the phone. "It's ready for you." Emma knew a brief tweak of envy, even as she tried to sound upbeat and happy for them. After a squeal of delight from the other end, she added, "I'll be in my studio at the stables by 10, okay?" "Perfect. We'll see you then." Stacey sounded like an excited teenager, and Emma guessed she wasn't much older. Ah, young love. She sighed, jamming the phone back into her coat pocket and taking a shortcut across the town park by the rotunda with its elaborate timber arches and exposed rafters beneath the domed roof. Sniffing his closeness to home and a warm doggy bed inside Gran's back porch, Mate led the way at a run. Emma jogged to keep up. The bakery cafe had been open since 6. The fresh sweet smell of bread and sticky buns mixed with the heavenly aroma of freshly roasted coffee wafting from inside sent her stomach rumbling. The cafe opened daily, and weekends were the gold mine for every business in this tourist region all year, which had also proven lucrative for Emma's work. As they approached it, she admired Gran's neat red brick flat and cottage garden, although the roses were bare and needed a prune. Somehow her green-fingered grandmother kept it colourful all year. Emma unleashed Mate in the porch and he immediately scampered inside to find his mistress. Mate was Gran's beloved little companion, rescued from an animal shelter soon after Grandpa Henry died. Emma hung up her coat. As she entered the compact kitchen, Gran turned and smiled. "Kettle's boiled." Toast cooled in a rack, and Mary Hamilton, still in her cosy blue dressing gown, sat at the round table in the breakfast alcove, halfway through a bowl of porridge. "Morning, Gran." Emma kissed the top of her head. She poured a coffee and sat opposite. "Someone's renovating the Webster place." "So I hear." "And?" Emma prompted. Living a hectic social life in Tingara all her life, Gran knew everything and everyone, so she was sure to have an answer. "We all wondered what would happen to that dear old property after crusty old George died last year. It's been empty ever since. Happened just before you arrived, dear. I can tell you few people wanted to be at that funeral. They only attended out of respect. Logical the boys want to sell. No love lost between them and their father." "How do you know it's up for sale?" "Auction notice went up in Ann Kelly's real estate agent window yesterday." Emma grinned to herself. Whereas she hadn't noticed, Gran and every other nosy or elderly local missed nothing in town. Given a choice, that lovely old Victorian, Clovelly, even in its faded grandeur, would be close to her own vision of a dream family home. Except she didn't have a family and was gripped by a brief fit of the doldrums. As much as she loved her younger sister Julie's preschoolers, Zach and Mia, Emma sometimes filled with envy. She couldn't watch all that cuteness and joy in other families and still remain detached and unaffected. She craved it for herself. Meanwhile, Gran had continued talking over her thoughts. "Families don't always turn out the way we'd like. The Websters were always flawed. George's fault. Tough, cranky old codger. And take my dear son Clive, that useless father of yours too," Mary muttered. Emma reflected. Hard to picture easygoing Clive as the son of such a busy and dynamic woman like her grandmother. "He slipped through the cracks of my discipline. I take some responsibility for that. His own nature and attitude must bear the rest. Disappointing." She shook her head. "I'm sorry he wasn't the best role model for you." "Not your fault, Gran. Dad's a dreamer, not a doer. He tries hard and means well, and he's devoted to Mum. It's admirable that Alice stuck with him all these years, but she always was gullible." One endeavour or business after another of her father's ventures had failed because Clive Hamilton never stuck to one long enough to see it through. Sadly, this meant their man of the house's provider tended to be unreliable, all of which set the family on the path of insecurity and kept money tight as Emma, Richard and Julie grew up. Even though